Matt Chittian here. Welcome to my studio. I want to show you my setup that I took to Paris and I took to Spain last year, with slight modification. It all fits roughly into this space here, and the tripod. I have the tripod right here, which collapses. So what I'll do is I'll pack this. I'll separate it as needed in terms of packing with carry-on or checked or my backpack, my personal item. Anything can go anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I don't have any blades or anything like that. There's no liquids. The watercolors and gouache, I'll show you that in a minute. But here I have, so first order is my drawing kit, which is just this metal case that I've had for 40 years, and these are my preferred pencils, a little sharpener, and of course, a drawing pad. Now when I'm on site, sometimes I'll take these things together, sometimes I'll take them separately. This is really light and easy. The painting kit's a bit heavier, especially the tripod's a little bit heavier than I want, but it works, so I use it. I set this up a minute ago, but first I'll show you the palette. The palette is something I won in a prize or something, and I created this little hanger for it. So the palette is actually, it will seal from the water, and I reuse it. I don't really wash it out, not while I'm there. I didn't have a slop sink to clean it, so I would just take a piece of paper towel and keep it to sop up some of the water after I'm done. So this just fits around the neck of the, I don't know if you can see that. Let me turn this down a little bit here. That fits right in the neck of this tripod, this central thing. And on this little spindle with this generally goes here. This is my actual easel, if you call it. It's just a piece of Luan, and I made this. It has a T-nut, a 1/4-20 T-nut, and it's got a little extra thickness to it right there because it's thicker. This stuff is pretty thin. I would have made this just slightly bigger. This is 12 by 16 nominally, and this will screw on like this. Okay, so boom. Now what I usually do is I usually tape watercolor paper to it before I leave our little pad. Watercolor paper, I'll tape it down with blue tape. And generally I don't do more than one-on-one outing. I could bring the tape. I won't use it if I'm not planning on it. But there, it's ready to go. And the paint, I'll show you the paint and the brushes. This is, I bring a little tub like this. It wasn't this one. And make sure I had a lid on it because I wanted to be able to use that as soon as I got there. I didn't want to have to look for stuff like that. And it was very handy. So what I'll do is I'll put that down right here, and then I'll have a water jug, and I'll use the water, I'll drink it, and I'll use it in there. Not back and forth, but make sure it's clean. And my brushes, they're kind of crappy brushes. I could probably upgrade these. They just seem like they work. This is like just a brush, little cheap 1.5 inch. This, I don't really like this. This is okay, but it loses bristles. And these are all right, but they seem to work. Keep those in a bag, rinse these out. And then in terms of paint, this is kind of what I had and kind of what I wanted. I keep this with it. I've never been asked to look at it. It's the MSDS safety sheet from Utrecht. You can download that. I've done this once and that's all. And no, like I said, nobody's, I got a special screening the other day and they didn't look at it. It was right there. So I use a combination of gouache and watercolor. Happens to have more gouache in it or more watercolor in it right now, but there's black watercolor, there's ultramarine, there's white gouache is like crucial. Lemon yellow, I don't really use that much of that. A raw sienna, it's like a yellow ochre. And this probably could have been gouache, but it's watercolor. And then alizarin crimson, turquoise blue, that's gouache, and a burnt umber. And I'm leaning toward a lot of those earthy colors. And I'm leaning toward restricting the palette even more, because I don't really need that much on the fly there. But it is handy to have. So I put what I want out, and I'll just keep adding to it. It'll be a mess, and that's the way I like it. So what else? I mean, that's pretty much it, I guess. Once you set up, I always bring paper towel. I can find that, napkins or whatever. And I have wait a little bit, and I have a bag. I usually have a fairly good plastic bag. Which I actually have here, it's over there, that I use to cover the whole thing. And wait a little bit, don't move it when it's super soaking. So that's roughly what I take, and I brought back a couple of watercolors that my dealer had in Spain, and I hadn't seen them for a while. Those are 3 of a bunch that I left them there, and he let me pick them up in Paris, which was nice to get them back. So Sunday, the 16th, 12 to 4, I'll do a little talk at 2, and I'll show the watercolors. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.